Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of New Music Zone TV. I'm Craig Ballard, your host, and today we're going to be talking with Merlin, the Wizard Centilier from Dominica, two-time Calypso King, 1989 and 1990. We're here in Mount Vernon at his home studios. So we're going to be talking with him about his experience in Dominica Calypso. Stay tuned, we'll be right back after the break.
Let your spirit take to flight, let your heart run free and wild, find your soul in Dominica, the nature
Since she want a gun, got it on the run, nothing is standing in she way. What she looking for, since she cleared the door, is a man to help she play. Long time now she waiting for the chance, tired staying in no chance of that. Now the time has come, she moving on. Jump inside her hot and spicy bed, prancing up and down until she wet, shouting all of women, she having fun. Singing, clear the way tonight is mine. Don't test me, I'm feeling fine. I can't keep my body still. Sweet rhythm I want to feel. Oh Lord, I cannot believe my ears. This soca beat sounding so sweet. I can't believe what I'm missing all these years. So ain't no stopping me now.
Welcome back everyone, Craig Ballard here. We're here with Merlin, the Wizard Centilier, really great Calypsonian from Dominica. So Merlin, tell us, take us back to the start. I mean, how did you get started singing and writing and stuff like that?
Wow, it just seems like a long time. I started singing in schools, in school choirs and in church. You know, I was a choir leader in the Canefield Catholic Church for a while. And from there, I started doing public performances. There used to be a lot of variety shows back in the days, you know. And I was known as the Dominica Neil Diamond because I went around singing all of Neil Diamond's songs, you know. And it progressed from here where I first entered the Calypso competition in 1988. Then I worked with the man himself, Freddie Mans, who was also a Calypsonian. You know, and we worked together. You know, I sort of got the courage to enter the competition. We worked on writing a couple songs, and that was the first year I competed.
Okay, so before we even get to the Calypso, you know, what kind of music were you listening to? I mean, what got you really interested in just singing? Was it something, a hobby you did, or what got you started?
I think it probably because it was my father was a choir leader also, and he was always singing around the house, you know, and maybe because I was also part of the school choirs, you know, that's where my interest started. I started playing the guitar myself when I was about 12 years old. I taught myself to play the guitar, you know, and the interest began building from there.
Okay. So from getting involved with Freddie Mans and him, did he teach you in terms of writing? What was his role in bringing you to the Calypso?
He convinced me that I could do it, and we co-wrote my first two songs. The first two songs that I sang on stage, we co-wrote the first two songs, and I think he's one of Dominica's great writers. You know, he's really good. So when I had his encouragement, you know, I registered and I took part for the first year.
That was 1988, and you won the crown in 1989 and 1990. And did you take part all these years preceding?
No, the first time I took part was in 88, and I only took part in the competition for 4 years. It was 88, 89, 90, and 91. It just so happened that after I took part for the first year in 89, sorry, after I won the crown for the first time, I migrated to the United States, you know, so maybe, you know, the move was probably at the wrong time or whatever, but, you know, I'm not questioning that.
Right, everything happens for a reason, right? So I mean, the first year you took part, you won. Well, the second year, right? The second year. And what was it? Was it the song? Was it the writer? What do you think was it that got you that crown?
You know, I think my performances were really good. You know, the judges thought that, you know, I was the best on that night. You know, I mean, all the other guys were great competitors. You know, but I was judged to be the winner on that night. You know, I thought my songs were really good. One of the songs was "Feed My Brother." Yeah, I believe I convinced the judges of my story. You know, and you know, they believed me. You know, so they judged me to be the winner that night. You know.
All right, great. Okay, guys, we're gonna take this quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna give you some more of Wizard.
It all started many rains ago, when the blood, sweat and tears flowed freely from Mandingo. Oh yes, the effort was worth the pain, so we can't allow them all to have died in vain. Let's keep their dream alive, their memory must survive. As we, as one people for progress we strive, so let us join all hands and do the best we can, as we seek to rally all around our Cicero land. Yeah man, okay boy.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here talking with Merlin, the Wizard Centilier, originally from Dominica. We're here at his home studio in Mount Vernon, New York. Merlin won 2 crowns, Calypso crowns from Dominica, 1989 and 1990. You know, just coming into the competition and just really grabbing those crowns. So, Merlin, after you took those crowns, I mean, I understand you performed at the a festival in Jamaica competition. Tell us about that.
Right. Well, that was the annual Caribbean Broadcasting Union Song Festival. In 1990, I represented Dominica, and I performed in Jamaica. And it was a song written by Alwyn Bully, you know, and I placed second in that competition. You know, I thought that was one of my proud moments of competition, you know.
Okay, great. So tell us some of your performances after that. I mean, after you migrated to the US. What year was that? 89?
Yes. So, I mean, after I migrated, I successfully defended my Calypso crown in 1990. I returned to Dominica and I competed in the finals again, and I won again. And I returned to the US, you know, and then I tried to defend the crown again in 1991, but I was not successful. And after that, I never competed in the Dominica Calypso competition anymore. I think in 1996 there was a Dominica / New York Calypso competition held here in New York, in Brooklyn, New York, which I participated in, and I won that competition. But since then, that's been it for me in terms of competition. You know.
Okay. So, I mean, what were some of the reasons you decided to move, you know, to the U.S. in terms of pursuing your Calypso music career in Dominica? Yeah,
the move was actually to further my education, and it just so happened that it fell through in 1989. That was the very same year that I won the Calypso crown the first time, you know.
Okay, great. So, I mean, have you performed while you were studying or after, besides that 1996 Dominica Brooklyn thing? I mean, what other musical attempts have you did after that?
Well, you know, while I was at university, I performed on campus. You know, there were a bunch of, you know, like what they call club fairs and things like that, and I did performances then. More recently, I've participated in the King of Kings Calypso competition that Anne-Marie organizes up here in New York, you know. So, but other than that, you know, it's a little gig here, a little gig there, you know. I mean, this is my hobby. It's not, you know, something that I do full time.
All right, guys, we're gonna take this quick break. When we come back, we're gonna get into what Wizard has planned for the future. Welcome back, everyone. Craig Ballard here, New Music Zone TV. We're here with Merlin, the Wizard Centilier, two-time Calypso King from Dominica, 1989 and 1990. So, Wizard, what are you doing right now in terms of your albums and your recordings? I think you have about 3 release albums right now?
Yes. So I released my third CD compilation last year, and I'm still in the process of promoting it through gigs, here and there. I'm hoping to release another CD maybe in the next couple of years, so I'm in the process of composing and writing some new music for that.
Okay. So do you do all the writing yourself, the composing yourself? Do you have other additional musicians who come in?
I do all the composing myself, I don't do all the writing myself, I usually get an idea, and then when I get stuck, I collaborate with some of my writers, some of the guys that I usually work with, so in my own way, I do all my orchestration in the studio here on myself. I usually have a guitarist come in to do the rhythm guitar, or a bassist come in to play the bass, and background vocals to sing. But usually the drum programming, the keyboards, I do myself.
So you won 2 crowns. You released some really good songs. What do you think is the secret to releasing a really good song that sticks with the people?
When I used to compose more prolifically in the past, I used to try to make the songs timeless. First, it used to be it would have to be something that I was passionate about. I have to be passionate about it, and I try to make it timeless, and very relevant to to everyday society. So if you listen to it today, or if you listen to it in the next 10 years, it will have some kind of relevance. It will make some kind of sense to you. Also, I focus very heavily on my melody. The melody has to be really memorable. It cannot be something that you've heard before. I try to make it unique in its own way.
So timeless lyrics and great melodies. That's good. Okay.
Yeah, that's my style. That may not work for everyone, but this is how I think about it.
Okay. So you've been hearing some of the music that's been coming from Dominica. I'm sure you keep up with some of what's been going on there. What do you think about the Triple K, the WCK? They just released a new album. Some of these groups that are coming out. What's your opinion?
Actually, I listen to DBS all the time, so I'm in touch, man. And I have to say, the music is never static, it's constantly changing, and in my opinion, change in most cases can be really good, technology has helped our music production in Dominica quite a bit, and I think the music is going places, I know Triple K, for example. They've performed in Belgium and other international locations, and I just want the guys to continue innovating, writing great music, They got to work a little bit on the lyrics, in my opinion. But if it's party music, maybe, the lyrics are not as important, but I think our music is on the rise, and it will keep evolving, and it will keep getting better and better.
Okay, great. All right, guys, we're going to take this final break, and when we get back, we're going to wrap up with Wizard.
Dogs on the track. Dogs on the track. Them dog move so fast, you think every dog pass. Wash way say he say.
He a dog last.
Every other dog in front.
He a dog last.
They say that he looking strong.
He a dog last.
I never underestimate.
He a dog last.
Even if you overweight.
He a dog last.
Yeah, the crowd. Stretch your leg. Raise your head. What you take. Don't you take. He and dog cannot be lashed when we have a yellow dog. Now the race complete. Some dogs get a treat. See them with their bone, while others have to grow. Big celebration all over the island. Evil Calypsonians forget the competition.
But dogs have a habit, anytime they win it, don't care what you do, they're turning their back on you. Yeah, yeah. If you hear this, har, har, har,